building a science facility, and now we see the Mutalisks harass going to the main base, although there are a lot of turrets and a lot of Marines, and although we've seen Mutalisks beat this, it is pretty difficult to do. Luxury actually did a pretty good job against, I'm not sure who it was, I think it was maybe Frizine or something like that, where he just rotated Mutalisks against the massive amount of turrets that were up, and he had no problem. Just he ended up having like 36 mutas that he sent in there, destroying the base. Now Jaedong doing a great jump in, jump out Mutalisk harassment. Bouncing muta harass, I don't know what you want to call that, but taking out some straggling medics and piecemeal Marines as he runs around the base. And there you see the greatness of Jaedong's micro. I mean, that's just, I don't know if you've ever tried to do that. It is very difficult to do that in micro. You gotta be quick, you gotta click on the right units, you gotta do, you know, it's pretty intensive. And there we see the downfall of not protecting that main mineral mining base with more turrets or Marines or a bunker or something. But Science Vessel out now, so you can be sure that Irradiate is on the way, but Scourge is ready, so I don't know, well, you know what, Jaedong obviously saw the buildings as he was running through there, so he obviously had some foresight to make some Scourges, which was definitely a good idea, because one Science Vessel out, a second one on its way, and he's actually keeping those Scourges directly with those mutas. Look, they're right on top. That's pretty crazy. And he's going to keep them with them until he can, until he sees a Science Vessel coming his way. And I don't think I've ever actually seen that, the Scourges directly on top of the mutas like that. That's pretty cool. So he's actually using them in his micro. So that's probably means he only, oh, and wow, that was awesome. He did do it. He managed to get a hit, losing one Scourge to Marine fire or turret fire, and taking it and getting another hit on the Science Vessel otherwise. So that was very nice. Also a very nice Irradiate though by Flash, and that was cool. That was a great idea actually. Pretty clever keeping the Scourges on top of the muta like that. And now, you got to get those Science Vessels that are out and open. But he does get a tank instead, so that's going to actually protect his lurkers better than it would have been to probably get that Science Vessel. Although, well, it goes both ways. He has two though, so yeah, that probably was a better idea. And now Jaedong being forced back to his base, and Flash finally being able to go on the offensive a bit here. More Scourges out, a Hive Tech going down, Eva Chamber down, so upgrades being researched for Jaedong. He may be preparing for a future Ultralist build. Also, it's very popular to get one upgrade on the Armor 4 Lurkers, which cancels out the Marines' first two upgrades, because you get a plus, no, I'm sorry, yeah, it gets, because you get, Lurkers have one armor to begin with, and then plus one technically gives you two, which cancels out the plus two, which is two upgrades in for Marines. So now 3 Science Vessels out, and Flash starting to work up a pretty good position here. I mean, that's something as a Zerg player you don't want to see, so you really got to scourge those Science Vessels to be effective in this match, because Science Vessels can just ruin it. I mean, they're like units that get an instant kill, pretty much. Well, not instant, but Defiler's now going down now. So, Jaedong preparing for some Dark Swarm. He's got a Niduskin now, so he can easily protect that expansion. Good idea. And Scourge is out to hunt down some Science Vessels. Again, he's got to kill these Science Vessels. Looks like he just got one, so nice job for Jaedong. And 2 more Scourges out, but he's going to run them right into Marines. He's got to be a little more careful with his Scourges. But Flash running a ton of Marines right into a ton of Lurkers, so nice job on, well, bad job on Flash's part, nice job on Jaedong's part. Getting a little lucky there, though. That's not really a pro move that you'll see happen very often. 4 Lings running around to who knows where. Niduskin now down, and again, careful with those Scourges. You can't just send them in. You got to send them in with a full attack, so the Marines are distracted and don't attack the Scourges. They attack everything else. But what happens is the Marines in the background, they can't reach. They don't see any of the other units, so they're just going to go straight after the Scourges anyway. So you really got to be careful. And if you can flank, you can really do a good job of getting these catching a tank out in the open. That's great, because he's going to save his Lurkers this way. But Flash is now pushing up into his base. Oh no, he's going towards the expansion, actually. So Jaedong's going to have to prepare his expansion a bit with some more defense. We see 6 barracks and another stockport going down, so you can see he's going to pretty much dedicate to... and then we see a Defiler in the expansion. No protection against science vessels, though, so science vessel could really just run in there and irradiate that. A ton of units out for both players down the middle, and Defiler is out on the middle playing field as well, and getting irradiated, but not before throwing down a couple of Dark Swarms, which is good, but it looks like, yeah, he's not going to get a second one down before losing that guy. And now, Lurker's basically in the main base of Flash, but he's going to have to back up a little bit and redirect this attack a little bit, because he's got no Dark Swarm to protect him, and there's just so much, there's turrets, there's scan, there's science vessels, so there's not much he can do. Now he's getting irradiated a bit. There's nothing in that Dark Swarm, as they point out, and there are 3 science vessels full of irradiation magic, so they're just going to keep taking out those Lurkers as they come in, and those Lurkers can just do nothing about it. It's such a, it's really like an overpowered move, but at the same time it's not, I guess, because he can just scourge them. Anyway, looks like two more Defilers out and ready to do some more damage, and a lot of hatcheries down for Jaedong. It looks like he's got a total of 5, maybe 6 hatcheries pumping out units, and weakened Lurker at the expansion of... another expansion going on, so that's definitely at least 6. And there goes another Lurker, just taking out a bunch of Marines. Nicely done. And now another big attack going in. You see the Lurkers running in first, and then the Lings right behind them, because the Lurkers can take a few hits, and then the Lings will take the rest of the hits and protect the Lurkers. So it's actually the right way to put them in, I'd say. And now a couple Lurkers left out at the front of Flash's base, easily going to be taken down without killing too many Marines. And Science Vessel's just running rampant here, taking out, losing us, finally scourging very well, taking out another science vessel. And those Defilers are gone, though. I mean, man, he's really got to, it's one of those things where you want to be ahead of that, because if you get irradiated, you have to Dark Swarm, right? Because otherwise you lose the energy to the dying Defiler. So what they do is they kind of just Dark Swarm in the middle of nowhere, which